Hey guys, Rory from ANSgear. We're going to take a look at some dye guns today. We have in front of us a 2014 and a 2015 Proto Reflex rail. If you're wondering why I have both out in the same video, it's because they're not any different. The 14s and the 15s are basically the same gun with different color patterns on them. You're not going to see any different features in them. They both have the same bolt technology. They have the Hyper 3 regulator, although if you look at the box for the 2014 rail, the sleeve on the outside, it says in the description right here that it has a Hyper 4 regulator. It doesn't. It has a Hyper 3 regulator. So if you happen to read that and wondering why you're seeing something different on there, Hyper 3 reg on there. They all come with the Hyper 3 reg. It's a great regulator, so don't worry about it being bad. It doesn't come with a Hyper 4 regulator. So we'll just look at the guns. We'll open them up, see that they're the same. The box color is a little different for the 50 and the 14. So I mean that's different. So we open up the tops. We're still going to see you get both. You're going to get the same two-piece barrel, 14-inch 688 two-piece barrel, auto cocker threaded. And then the guns. Let's take the guns out. Really, the Reflex platform hasn't changed too much over the last couple of years. So there's that one. And this one. So I get all these pieces off of here. You can see that both have the lockdown clamping feed neck on there. They both have the airport on-off ASAs down there. Macroline setup, Hyper 3 regulators. UL frames, very, very comfortable trigger frame. If you've never held the UL frame or shot a UL frame, it's very, very easy in your hands. Has a great like hourglass design right here. It's very, very comfortable in your hands. Very, very easy to hold on to. But even the body is the same. The milling cuts are the same. They use the same jewel for the 14 and the 15. So don't expect there to be a huge difference in performance, because there won't be. What you are going to get is a different colorways, different color patterns. So if you're looking for something that's got a little different flash to it, look into the newer models, or if you like some of the older stuff, some of that stuff is available. But as far as performance, you're not going to see any performance differences. Same gun, different patterns is really all you're going to get there. With that being said, between the two bolts, the fuse bolts that are inside of them are great bolts. If it's your first stop into a spool valve setup, it can be a little tricky, a little daunting maybe on barrel setups or bolt setups, because there's a lot of O-rings inside there. There's a lot of potential things that can go wrong. But if we pull this out right here, we can see that we've got our bolt right there. This part's going to move back and forth if I can get a hold of it. Like that. So this is the part that moves around and right there. Air flows through your bolt. Spool valve setups like this, super smooth, really nice sound signatures when they shoot. Not a lot of kick to them. They can tend to be a little bit more air inefficient than your pop-up valves like your Egos and your LV1s. But if maintenance isn't a real thing that you need to worry about, or you don't mind doing your maintenance, check out spool valve setups, especially these Reflexes, because the price point on the Reflexes is great and they shoot awesome, and you don't need to do too much maintenance to their bolt systems. Make sure your O-rings stay okay, lubed up, no chips or cuts in them, and the gun will shoot great. Comes with all your standard firing modes, your PSPs, your NXLs, your semi-autos. Has the anti-chop eye systems in it, adjustable rates of fire, dwell settings, everything that you could possibly ever want to do with your gun. Another feature that these do have is the reach trigger that's inside of them. By adjusting the two set screws on the front, you can change the angle of the trigger without adjusting the activation point of the backside of the trigger. That trigger is actually two separate pieces that roll on a hinge, and you can change this angle without monkeying around with any of the backside of the trigger. So if you like your trigger to be way forward or closer back, but you like where your activation point is on the inside, you can change all that stuff around. Makes it super, super unique to set up your own design and shoot your gun the way you want to do it. Interface through the back is still the same, on-off button and eyes on-off button. All your programming is done through the grip frame. Tournament lock on the inside, little, what do they call those, little jumper box, or not jumper box, but a toggle box that has some switches on it to let you into your programming mode or let the gun be locked out into a like a semi-auto or non-selectable setup, so you can't go in and change your firing modes or your set points. It's all available in the gun. It's got every feature you need with the performance of some of the high-end setups. So check this gun out. Check out the 14s and the 15s. Basically, it just gives you a huge choice of colors because the performance isn't going to sway one way or the other. So check them out. The 2014, 2015 Proto Reflex rails available through the website. Order yours now through ANSgear.com.